Hello, children. So today is Monday morning, and here is our English lesson. So I thought I'd put myself at the bottom of the screen to make it as realistic, like I'm in the classroom, as possible, just for this lesson. Okay, so today in English, we are going to be tying up some of our loose ends from last week and the week before. So last week and the week before last, we started to read our brand new text, which is Wonder. It seems to me that everybody has been enjoying reading Wonder, which has been absolutely brilliant. And we've started to explore the first 60 pages, which are all about our main character, Oggy, and the idea of the book, which is him going to school for the first time ever. We've noticed that he's had to overcome lots of hurdles in order to go to school in the first place because of the fact that he's had so many surgeries and because of the fact that he's been homeschooled. Um, he's now uh, just about to go to school, and when we meet him, and he's had a tour round by some characters in the book who we get to know a little bit about, and they are Julian, Jack, Will, and Charlotte. He's met Mr. Tushman and Miss Batoza, or Miss Garcia actually, and then we see that he's about to start school. Uh, he then has his first day, and we've read all about his first day and answered questions on his first day. And during that first day, he experiences several different things, some positive, some negative. And as you planned last week in your bit of planning, um, you looked over the important parts of that day, and then you planned and you actually started to write or have written a first draft of a diary entry as August about August's first day at school. Okay. And the things that we asked you to include in that diary entry were first of all, arriving at school. We then asked you to include the first homeroom with Miss Batoza and Henry Joplin and the issue with Henry Joplin and Julian. We then asked you to include in it Mr. Brown's lesson with the precepts, then meeting summer and lunchtime, and then to weigh up the end of the day. We did make it really, really clear that a diary entry is not retelling the story. So you weren't just retelling the story. The idea was, and is, if you haven't written it, is to imagine you're August and you're on your bed or you're at home after that first day, and you are opening your private diary that you write your personal thoughts in, and you are reflecting on the day. So, if I was to reflect on my day today, so it's Sunday, if I was writing in my diary, I wouldn't describe my bedroom because I don't need to do that because I'm in there all the time, especially now. And I wouldn't uh, tell you about how I got up and brushed my teeth and that kind of thing because that's boring. And I don't want to remember that. In a diary entry, I want you to remember that the key things that you would write about are the things that have made you happy about the day and the things that have made you probably a bit sad about the day or angry about the day. It's not just a boring list retelling the events of every part of your day. Because who would want to read that, first of all? I know it's only you reading it, but when you reread it, why would you want to do that? So remember that is really, really important, okay? So for the people who haven't read any of Wonder, your task today is going to be, so I know some people might not have read it, they might not have had the book, they might have had problems with Shobi. So your task is just going to be to read pages 1 to 60 of the text, or that's quite a lot, but as much of that as you can to get up to date with this part of the text, which is the opening where Oggy first goes to school. Okay, so if you haven't done a diary entry and you don't know what I'm talking about, and you're not too sure, and you haven't read the book, then that's your task for today to read the text. Okay, there's plenty of text there in the classroom, at the back of my classroom, and in a red box in my big, huge set of cupboards, there's also some photocopied copies which you can use. Okay, for everybody who has written a diary entry, um, you are going to be editing and redrafting that diary entry today. Okay, So I'm going to open up the actual work now so that you can see what you are going to be doing. So here on Shobi, you can see that it says to plan, write, and edit and redraft a diary entry about August and his feelings after the first day of school. Okay, so for most people, last week you planned and wrote a first draft of a diary entry. Today you'll be editing that diary entry. I'll stop there because anyone who hasn't written it but has read the text, pages 1 to 60, and they know about August's first day of school, you're going to have a go at actually writing the diary entry today. So you're going to have a go at writing that diary entry, imagining that you've just had your first day at school, you're August, and you're retelling the series of events that happened to you that have affected you the most, okay? If you've written it, you're going to be editing and redrafting. Okay, so let's go through. So it says, if you want to, you can work with the person next to you if you've written it and you've got it in your English book in front of you. So read the diary first of all. Is it a diary? So remember what I've just said, that a diary entry, it summarizes the main events of the day and how you felt about that day. So it'll start off with a bit of information about maybe summarizing what kind of day you've had. Today was good, but it was also a bit terrible as well, diary, and I want to tell you a bit more about it. So it'll be summarizing the day in the first paragraph, and then it'll be telling the different key events that have happened, probably in chronological order, but it will only be telling those key events. So, mum and dad brought us to school. I was so nervous. I had pigeons in my stomach. It was terrible. And I was really embarrassed because mum and dad were still there. But I had to do this. And I felt like it was something I had to do. So think, for the first place I went was homeroom. Okay. So you're retelling the main events, but you're not retelling every single detail, and you're also paying close attention to thoughts and feelings. Okay, so just here in this picture, it says how to write a diary. So remember, just judge it and say, oh, first of all, is it in the past tense? Because some people write in the present tense. Okay. Second of all, does it follow a diary style? Dear diary. Third, is it in the first person? Because it's you're August, and you're telling your day. Fourth, it's an informal piece of writing, okay? So it's not loads of description of the bedroom or loads of description of the rooms that you're in the school. It's colloquial, chatty language, informal language, saying how you're feeling, okay? It will be in order, using adverbials maybe to pass the time, but it's not crucial that it stays in the exact order that things happened because you won't put everything in. Self reflection in a diary entry is key. Everything that you say today, the homeroom was the first thing. Thoughts and feelings need to be in there. Rhetorical questions need to be in there. Opinion of that part of the day need to be in there. They are the crucial parts of a diary. Past tense, like I said, and it does say on here detailed descriptions, but it means descriptions of the important things, okay? Not describing the bedroom, the way that the walls are, the way that somebody, I don't know, somebody sat. It's about the key parts of the day and describing those key parts of the day, okay? So thinking, it's almost like as if you get home from school today and you sit down with your parents and you tell them about parts of the day. You're not going to tell them all of the day, are you? You're not going to say at 10:03 I picked my breadsticks out of my bag to go outside, but you're going to say, oh, it was great today. I was so tired though this morning, but then what happened was Mrs. Marsden put something on the board and that was really funny, and then this person made me laugh. So think about the key events and the thoughts and feelings, okay? So check that it's an actual diary. That's first of all. If it's not, correct it. Check your spellings. If you're unsure, use a dictionary, okay? If you're still unsure, ask a pal. Does this look right? Not too sure. Let's check in a dictionary, or ask the teacher. Is this word right, or have I got it wrong? Check your punctuation, okay? So first of all, capital letters and full stops. And I mean, check that you've used them correctly for the names of people, the names of places as well, capital letters, because that one, they were missing. Question marks, exclamation marks. Have you, oh, now I'm on to the next page of this. So let's see if I can do it. How will I do that? Okay, so I'll just keep talking because I'm not too sure how to move on just for the minute because I've done something to it. Maybe I can do that. Okay, maybe not. There we go. So, also, have you used a range of year six punctuation? Colons, semicolons, brackets, commas. Have you showed off that you can use that year six punctuation? Have you included how August is feeling throughout the day? Check that you've not just retold the story. Check that you haven't just described things in detail that you wouldn't do in a diary entry. Swap with a pal, get them to check it, and then finally choose one paragraph of your piece of writing. Once you've checked it all and you've purple penned it all and you've edited it all, choose one paragraph, only one paragraph, the one that you think you could make better, and rewrite it and make it your absolute best. So, today you are editing and redrafting your diary entry. You're checking that it's like a diary entry, you're checking your punctuation and your spelling, and then you're redrafting one paragraph. Okay, that's really important. Okay, if you haven't done a diary entry, you could write one, and you've done the reading, you could write one. That would be your next step. If you haven't read any of it, you're going to read Wonder, pages 160. Okay, if you've done all of that, you even did the editing at home, you're super delighted with yourself, you've got all of that done. The next thing you're going to do is task 2. Okay, and that is a character log. So we've got all the characters here, the key characters, some we haven't met yet, in Wonder. What you're going to do is open this up and you're going to write what you already know about these characters, about what they look like, how they act, what they say to other people, and how that makes us feel about them into the character log. So you could definitely fill in August. You could fill in something about Via from what we've read in pages 1 to 60. You could definitely write something about Jack, and you could definitely write something about Summer. You could also write something about not Justin, but you could write about Julian if he was there. Okay, so you've got some characters there, and you're going to fill in some information about those characters. Okay, so that's the next thing. If you've finished everything, or you haven't written a diary entry and you're really not sure what to do, then, but you have read the text, you could fill this in. And finally, if you've done all of those things, the next activity is this. Let's see if I can make it any bigger. Looks like I can't. Okay, so you're going to draw a picture of Oggy. You could do this into your English book. Okay, draw a picture of Oggy. You're going to use the letters of Oggy's name to write a little acrostic poem about Oggy. And then you're going to draw a picture of something that represents Oggy. Okay, and you could do all that from the worksheet in your English book, take a photo of it, send it me in Shobi. Okay, so just to recap today's English lesson, you are editing and redrafting your diary entry. Okay, hopefully that's where everybody's up to. Okay, and you're following the information on task 1 in order to do that. Okay, if you haven't read any of Wonder, you are reading pages 1 to 60, or as far as you can get in the lesson. Okay, and that should cover where everybody else is up to. Please don't worry if you're only at that stage. If you've done all of that, you're going to fill in the character log. And if you've filled in the character log, edited, super happy with it, you're going to do this this Oggy activity. Okay. So today's new learning is your editing and your redrafting. So you're going to be making your piece of writing better, and then filling in your character log, reflecting on the characters that you've already read about. Hopefully, by the end of this lesson, everybody will have a good idea of August's first day at school, and they will have produced some sort of diary entry about that. And if they haven't done that, they will have at least read those pages. Okay? Have a really, really lovely English lesson. I'm so sorry that Miss Malika and I aren't there to help you, but I know that you have teachers in there now to help you who are going to be amazing. And once you finish work, upload it to Shobi and I will mark it, okay? Or Miss Malik will mark it. If you aren't sure how to use Shobi, then you can upload